Good morning, Patriots. How are you today? I just got a notification that I ain't got internet. What's going on here? Connection is unstable. We'll see how that goes. I hope you guys are having a great day. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here in central Missouri. A little windy. Got some storms coming up in the next day or so. We'll see what happens. Hope everything is wonderful where you're at. We may be having some internet connectivity. Who knows? This could be the big event. There's a massive solar flare going on right now, which is causing a lot of chaos with communications. That might have something to do with it. I don't know. I'm not that smart. Anyways, this is Mike the Patriot coming to you live from Central Missouri. I hope you're having a great day. It is approximately 8:32 a.m. on 4/27/21. I've got my cup of coffee. I hope you have yours. This one's still steaming, just the way I like it. I see that my beautiful bride has jumped on to watch me or criticize. No, I'm just kidding. So everybody's jumping on. I do appreciate you being on here. I hope everything's good. Do me a favor. If you would, check me out on Rumble, because everything I do is loaded to Rumble. Check me out on Telegram, because everything that I do is also loaded on the Telegram. Also, as I try to plan out these videos, I put them all my links and all the places I'm doing my research onto my Telegram page. I will share the link in the comments here in a minute. This is my YouTube account. Go over there and follow me on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the bell, and share this video with your friends. Also hit the like button. That does help. I do appreciate you commenting over there too. If you're watching me on YouTube, do me a favor right now. If you're first time seeing me and you like what you hear, go up and follow me. We're going to talk about a little bit about what's going on with that. So Facebook is definitely muting me. And yesterday, when I got a little box, I wish I could show you my screen, but I don't really have the capability of doing that right now. But on this particular screen, it wouldn't work. But right now, I'm looking at just short of 100 people that have come on, right? And as this goes, it'll bring more people on. It's at 99 right now. Yesterday, as I glanced over there, it was like 304. While I was live, I had 304 people on. Yesterday afternoon, when I went back and looked to see how the video was doing, as I like to keep track of that, so I know how I'm doing. And it's things that I talk about don't get spread around, don't get interest, and maybe I don't talk about them, and unless they really need to be talked about. But so check this out. This was me yesterday afternoon. This number this morning, 297 views. You see that down in the corner down there? It hasn't changed. So all night long, no one else has seen this video. The problem is like I said, while we were live, there was 304 people watching this video. So they're messing with this, but big time. And I'm sure a ton more people have seen that video. They're just not putting it on there. And I'm also sure that the video has been shared more. And there's comments, because it tells me in the notifications that people have commented, but I can't see them. I click on it, I can't see them. So it's just weird. I don't know why they're doing that, other than they don't like my voice. That's just the way they're doing it. Of course, there's a big lawsuit that's getting started. Glenn Beck was talking about yesterday. I probably ought to go to that website and check it out. But also, speaking of Glenn Beck, I shared a real good video on my Telegram account. Let me share this first. Someone asked me if I had a Venmo account, because I'm not asking for money. Don't give me money. But if you feel led, I just put it in the comments. That's the only time I'm going to do it, unless someone asks again. Okay. So here is my Telegram account. So I just put that in the comments. You go on over there. And like I said, there's a bunch of videos. I don't share them here. I'm not sharing a Glenn Beck video. I thought about just taking parts of it, but it's 13 minutes long. That's why I'm not sharing it. And it is excellent. So if you go there and find that video, I shared it onto there. It's outstanding. It talks about why things are going on. He's real good at putting the pieces together, from all these abstract stories and what help things make sense. Sometimes I don't agree with Glenn, but he's really good at putting things together as far as what's happening around the planet. So I do like him for that aspect. So anyways, as we're jumping on here, I appreciate everybody. I'm going to start out with a little story here from the Babylon Bee. And, you know, that's satire. And I like doing satire. I like doing my jokes first. Lighten the mood. So right now, I was just talking about how I got 153 people on here right now. And so, anyways, of course, I also have several hundred people that will be watching me on YouTube and on Rumble and on Telegram as I get it loaded up. So I've kind of spread it around a little bit. So anyways, Babylon Bee is reporting that Hasbro releases a new version of Clue where Miss White is always guilty. It says Hasbro has announced a new social justice theme version of the popular game Clue, in which Miss White is always guilty. We're thrilled to introduce this new version to the public, says Hasbro CEO Percival Wadsworth. What a name. All of our favorite characters will be there. Professor Plum, Miss Peacock, Miss Scarlet, Colonel Mustard, except in this brand new anti-racist edition, Miss White will be guilty of murder every single time. It's never too early to teach the kids who's really to blame for all the evil in the world, he continued. The game will be played traditionally, as one of the characters may technically be the murderer. The twist will come in the end, with a powerful anti-racist speech read by each of the players in the game, or from the game booklet, after which a deep discussion will ensue about why whiteness is the real enemy. Corporations, police departments, and elementary schools across the country are using this new game as a teaching tool. Here at Hasbro, we're proud to be part of the solution, says Wadsworth with a smile while dusting off a candlestick. So there you have it, folks. We all know what's going on there. That's the solution to the problem. And while we're at it, while we're having a good time, I got a little video. I love it when there's a happy ending to a crime story. This is overseas somewhere in Albania, and this guy was trying to run a bunch of people over in a crowded area. I don't know if it was a festival or what. And just watch what happens here as the police try to stop this guy. Oh no. Hold on a second. I done screwed up. Bear with me while I was cramming to get this stuff done, and I forgot to add this to my stream. So I can't show it to you until I add it. So give me a minute. I will stall. I got a lot to show you on this, and I can't do it till I add it. All right, here we go. Share screen. Man, I totally messed up. I feel like you know who. Okay, that's popping up. Now, let's go back to here. So here's this over in Albania, and just watch what happens here. There's no sound. They're trying to stop this guy, get him out of this car. Booyah! You see that? Let's watch that one more time. This old boy comes jumping in from outside here. Watch him. Oh, somebody froze up on there. Here it comes. Watch. Why is it? Oh, my internet is just not working with me. Okay, let me try it again from back here. For some reason it's jumping right there. Booyah! Just jumps right through the window, takes the guy out with a double suplex kick to the forehead. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you got to love it when a plan comes together. You got to love it when there's a happy ending, when the criminal is taken down and brought to justice with a double kick planted straight to the forehead. Anyways, that's just fantastic right there. Let's see what else we got. So also, Also, what we got going on here, let me scroll down to it.
Before we continue,
I just want to show this video right here. This is of Tucker Carlson, and he has something to say about what's going on with the presidency. I don't know when this is from, but it's from recently. So here you go.
This show, in the interest of accuracy, will cease referring to the White House or anything associated with the entire executive branch of government as the, quote, Biden administration. And the reason we're changing is not to make a statement, but merely to reflect reality. Joe Biden, whatever his merits as a human being, has no active role in running the U.S. government. Everyone knows that. Everyone pretends otherwise, but it's true. And so henceforth, we will refer to it as the administration, the White House, the Kamala Harris administration, the third and far more radical Obama administration, this group of people that Susan Rice seems to be in control of, or whatever, something precise and accurate. But no longer will we refer to it as the Biden administration because it's not.
Damn!
No longer will we refer to it as the Biden administration because it's not. I think he makes some excellent points there, and we're going to touch on that a little bit further in the.
I believe that there will.
I'm setting things up. I apologize. I don't want to not remember to unmute things. A one-man show here. Anyways, so as he's going on there, he's talking about, things just don't seem right in the White House. I know all of us have noticed that, talked about it. I really do believe that we're seeing I think I talked about this yesterday. I don't remember, but I know I talked about it to some friends. The prophecy of Kim Clement, where he talked about two presidents. What a strange thing. How can we have two presidents, he says. I believe we're entering that time right now. We're not to the pinnacle of it. We're just we're starting to see that manifest right now. And I think in a few weeks, maybe a month, I don't know the time frame. I'm not even going to put a time frame on it. Don't even go with that. But I think in a short amount of time, we're all going to be going, whoa, because we're there. It just kind of seems the way those prophecies are working. They kind of hint at it, build up to it, and then we're there. So I think that's where we're at right now. We'll see what happens with that. So in the news, Intel says that global chip shortages will last 2 more years. So the story is the chip shortage won't be over anytime soon, according to Intel. New Intel chief executive Pat Gelsinger said on Thursday the supply constraints and the immense investment needed to meet demand mean that chip shortages will be affecting the automobile industry and other sectors are likely to last 2 more years. And then Pierre Bouracon wrote in the Friday Report. So what are they talking about? Well, if you drive by your local car dealership, name brand, you'll notice that they're spreading them cars out as far as they can to make it look like they got inventory when they really don't. They're parking all the cars up on the first couple of rows and the back rows are empty. I'll go by my favorite dealership and they only have a handful of new cars. And they're hardly getting them made. And they ain't got an allocation and they've got orders up the wazoo that aren't being fulfilled. And the reason that is because all these cars and trucks and vans and whatnot, SUVs, they all run on computers anymore. Not like my old 86 Dodge that I like to drive around that basically has one wire running to it and there's no computer on it at all. These things are computer generated, they're everything out. There's more computer power in there than there probably is in my little desktop right here. But without computer chips, you ain't got nothing. Well, that's the problem that we're having right now. They're not able to manufacture the vehicles because they don't, and it's going to spread into other sectors, televisions, refrigerators, whatever, you name it. There's a whole bunch of things happening in the supply chain right now. There's a whole bunch of things happening in the marketplace. I saw a meme the other day that said a U.S. Custom Borders agents apprehended a shipment of $1.7 million in lumber hidden in a shipment of cocaine. because lumber prices are so high. I mean, I remember, see, when was I working on that house? A year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I got one of my rental units. I had to put a subfloor in. And a sheet of plywood at that time was like 18 or 19 bucks. And I thought, man, that's ridiculous. Well, it's like 50 bucks, 60 bucks today. It's just, it's going crazy, the price of stuff. I called up O'Reilly's, the local parts store here in town, and asked them for my little tire shop to ship me some valve stems. You know, the little rubber valve stems that go inside the wheel. You pop them on there. I go buy them by the box. And he said, we don't have any. I said, what do you mean you don't have any? He said, well, I can't get them. I said, what do you mean you can't get them? He said, they're on back order. No one in the state has them. I can't get them here. We don't have any. They're on back order. Do you know how well your automobile is going to work without valve stems? Not well at all. I'll tell you that right now. So I went on the internet, found some, like 850 of them, and ordered them. I might be the only guy in town with them. I don't know. But the point of that is that there is a supply chain issue going on. They're saying it's linked to coronavirus. I don't know about that. It may all have a lot more to do with the inflationary pressures put on the dollar bill by the fact that we spent $20 trillion freaking dollars in the last year just blowing it out the window for no apparent reason. You can't just print money out of blue sky and expect nothing to happen. There will be a response to that. That's why the prices of everything goes up. That's the reality of it. That's just the way it is. Do me a favor, when we're done here, go over to Telegram. A lot more of that story is over on Telegram. I post a link in the comments. Now, we're going to talk. I got a couple videos to show you here we're going to talk about the V word. Here's a video that you might find interesting. Just listen real close. This is a news report. Somebody put it on the TikTok and then recorded it off their TV. So got to listen real close. Just listen to what they say here.
Is worrying health officials who call mass vaccinations the only path to a return to normalcy. Almost 4 months into the vaccination effort, providers are beginning to run out of people who want to be immunized.
What?
Beginning to run out of people who want to be euthanized. Beginning to run out of people who want to be euthanized. Beginning to run out of people who want to be euthanized.
Well, I don't want to be euthanized. I'll tell you that right now. That does not sound like a good idea to me. I'm sure many of you raise your hands. Anybody want to get euthanized? Now, I'm sure that's just a Freudian slip, maybe. But wait, there's more. This is from the World Economic Forum. And this was in July 8th of 2020. And he's talking about the future of pandemics and how important it is that we prepare. Now, listen to what this guy has to say.
That there will be another crisis. It will be more significant. And, we need to actually start preparing for that now. When we do see this next crisis, it will be faster than what we've seen with COVID. The exponential growth rate will climb, be much steeper. The impact will be greater. And as a result, the economic and social implications will be even more significant.
So they've already planned it. They were talking about the first one the year before. They was talking about the how that was going to happen, how that was all going to work out. They had it all planned out. They knew what they was going to do the year before. They actually war gamed the idea of a pandemic breaking out, like in midsummer of 2019. What do they got planned? What's on the horizon? I don't have an answer to all that. It's just questions that I want to ask. Inquiring minds want to know. I know one thing's for certain. I don't want to be euthanized. Wait till God takes me home naturally, however that is. It might be tomorrow. Might be 50 years from now. I don't know. I'm ready to go whenever he comes, but I don't want to, I don't want to be euthanized. Oh, no, thank you. So, okay. This is fair warning. If you have children or young people, if you're squeamish, if you don't want to talk about some of the things events that are happening today, especially when it involves children, I suggest that you either turn this off, move on, turn it down, chase the little ones out of the room, or whatever it is. Put your earphones in. And I'm giving you fair warning because we're about to talk about a couple subjects that may be sensitive. So I'm giving you fair warning. While we're at it, do me a favor. If you want to see more about this, maybe watch it later. The videos are on my Telegram. I just shared that again. So you can go right to the link. Now, your fair warning is over. This is a lady. She's an actress, Blake Lively. Never heard of her. I don't pay much attention to that kind of stuff. But she's given a speech and she received some sort of award, blah, blah, blah. And she's talking about her work in rescuing children. And I'm just going to play a portion of this. Thing's kind of 10 minutes long. But just listen to how she describes what's going on in the world today.
I didn't really know what child pornography was. You know, we all sort of have an idea of it, and I was afraid to ask as a mother, you know, because it would be very painful to hear. And I felt like I had to ask, though, and I feel like I have to share it with you guys now. And it is disturbing, and I want to warn you, but I feel it's my responsibility to tell you guys because it is the truth. And I believe if we all knew this, we would dedicate much more of ourselves to stopping it. So when I asked what child pornography entailed, yes, it's nude images of boys and girls under the age of 18. But now, because of high-speed internet, it's also videos very prominently, and videos of kids. And by kids, I mean prepubescent, visibly prepubescent. And they make the distinction because of the internet and there's so much content. These pedophiles are desensitized. Because of that, the kids are getting younger and the content is getting that much more devastating. So when this law enforcement officer told me this, I asked him how young are the young kids he's seeing. And he told me infants. And I have a 6-month-old baby. So I said, what does that mean? You know, like what does an infant mean? And he said, with the umbilical cord still attached. I know it's so devastating to hear this, and I'm really sorry to share this, but I'm grateful that you guys are listening because this is actually happening, and it's important that we know this and that it resonates with us so that we think about this in our days and in our personal life. So I asked them what happens in these videos, and you know, unspeakable things happen, but I'm again going to speak about them because I feel like if these kids are experiencing this, the least that they deserve is for us to hear what is actually happening to them. So no, it's not just touching. There is penetration. There is extreme torture and bondage. There's bestiality, which is having an animal penetrate the child or infant. There is incest. I mean, they said you think of it, anything you could think of, it's out there and it's being traded, and it's 30 to 50 million files a day being traded that we know of. I mean, you can see what's happening right now. And this is happening to any child and every child. You know, 90% of children know their abusers. So, you know, our children are at risk. You may know this person. It may be a doctor. It may be a coach. You know, I thought that people that were working with children were people that wanted to protect them. But oftentimes these people who have this propensity for wanting to lure children, and they find out a profession that gives them access to children and lots of them. And ideal victims are young children because they can't speak up. And they don't make great witnesses. If they do, only 10% of children actually do speak up once they've been abused. So what's incredible about the Child Rescue Coalition is that they are proactive. They don't wait for these children to speak up. They can identify these pedophiles. They can see the IP address that's trading this child pornography. They don't know, there's no privacy issues. There's no big brothering. They see the IP address of who's trading these files, and they give that to law enforcement. And the trading of these files is a felony. So law enforcement can knock on that person's door and see if that person has access to a child, because the average abuser abuses between 50 and 100 children in their lifetime per person, per abuser. And the average person that views child pornography, between 55 and 90% of people viewing it are actually hands-on abusers or will become abusers. And you know, you think that sounds like a lot, 50 to 100, maybe that's unrealistic, but the kids age out of the age that they stay silent, or they age out of the sexual preference of the predator. And I was told the story of an oncologist, a pediatric oncologist, who was raping his children with cancer by the hundreds. And there was a nurse who was working with children with mental and physical disabilities. And when he was caught, they asked him how many children he abused. And he looked outside the window at the snow and said, "How many snowflakes are there outside?" So this is so prevalent, and I want you guys to know this, and I want it to resonate with you, and I want you to see that the Child Rescue Coalition in just 3 years has found 9,000 predators so far. They have saved 2,000 children.
So she was working with an organization that's going around trying to save these children and bring this to light, arrest these perverts. But her description of what's going on is heart-wrenching. But I want you to understand that there's more to come of this. That this is the very tip of the. I was talking to somebody who's just, his mind is, he's waking up. He's like, you know, you're laying in bed and it's a Saturday morning and you're asleep and you kind of sort of open one eye. That's where he's at right now. He's just waking up. And he was asking me some questions about what was happening up at the Capitol. And I said, let me explain something to you. You know how an iceberg is 20% above the water and 80% below the water? And he says, oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I understand. So I said, well, what you're dealing with right now is this quarter-inch of snow that fell last night on top of the iceberg. What she's talking about is that quarter-inch of snow on top. This thing is so huge, so encompassing. So what I want to talk about is more. Okay, we know how corrupt Hollywood is. Hollywood, the media, I'm putting them all together. Whether it's the news or whether it's the movie stars or the producers or, you know, the Hollywood couch, all the sick, twisted parties, we know how corrupt and evil they are, and God has called them out. And we see that. And things are happening there. They're going, I was standing in the grocery line looking at the magazine rack, you know, and they was talking about how the media, how the movie production houses, the big Paramount and all that stuff are in serious trouble. A lot of these movie stars are going broke because, well, COVID shut everything down. I think that's God doing, by the way. We see how corrupt, evil, perverted, and sick our government is. And I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about all of them. Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. They're a bunch of pervs. They've been trading with we got right here, got John Kerry, got a story of John Kerry, where he was giving information to Iran about Israel. I mean, they went after Flynn on the Logan Act, and here you got John Kerry doing that and more. We know how screwed up our government is, and that we got a four-legged table here, and there's two legs gone right there. We know that our financial system is corrupt. They're involved in all this perversion, sickness, all this. They're rigged the whole system against you and against me so that they could get rich. We've seen what happened with Robinhood. We've seen what happened with these GameStop stocks. We're seeing what happened right now with the manipulation of the silver market. How crooked and evil, how these people, they caused the collapse of the financial system back in 2007 and reaped the reward when government bailed them out because they're all in cahoots. The media, the government, the finance, they're all in cahoots. They've all been to Epstein Island. But I said it's a four-legged table. There's another leg that's about to drop, and things are starting to trickle. You know, things like what she was talking about have been trickling for years. Things are starting to trickle. By that, And what I'm talking about is there are name brand preachers right now that you love and adore who are selling you out for profit. Let me tell you, if your preacher says that we're going to follow the government, we're going to listen to Dr. Fauci. If your preacher's promoting the vaccination, if your preacher's promoting the government line, if your preacher's saying, no, we need to come together and sing Kumbaya with the Democrats, with Joe Biden, because we need to understand that he's our president. If your preacher wants to stand with a man who has denied the existence of God, who just expanded abortion around the world, who's in favor of abortions, he's so in favor of abortion that even the corrupt Catholic Church won't give him communion. If your preacher stands with him, you need to find a new preacher. I'm telling you right now, name brand stuff that followers by the millions through the interwebs, huge churches. And no, I'm not talking about Joel Osteen. That's he's too easy. In fact, I bet you Joel Osteen's going to come out smelling like a rose compared to some of these other guys. That's right, I said it. Oh, I can disagree with him on theology. And some of these other guys I can't disagree with on theology. But it's coming. And this video I just showed you, y'all know who that is, don't you? You know who that is. Hold on a second. I want to prove a point here. I got to take a picture of my screen with my 301 people watching. Well, it just dropped to 299, but that's okay. My point's still made. Y'all know who that is. You see what that is in the background? It says Voodoo Donuts. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? What's that all about? What is a Voodoo Donuts? What is that all about? Well, let's take a look at Voodoo Donuts. Here's our little promotional video. They're expanding, by the way, into Hollywood. Well, that's right. Just listen. Don't they look yummy?
Hello, donut fans. I'm here in Portland, Oregon to learn more about Voodoo Donut. Coming soon to Universal Orlando Resort. Let's go! Hey guys, I'm so excited to meet you. I'm such a big fan.
Oh, hey, we are too, man. You are delicious.
I could just eat you right up right now.
I don't know if I follow, but Let me get into these interview questions. How did you guys come up with this brilliant idea?
You know, we had an idea a long time ago to come up with something cool for Portland, and lo and behold, it became something cool for everywhere.
We went down to Los Angeles, California, and we learned how to make donuts. They showed us the basics, and from there, Cat Daddy and I created these just incredible, wonderful, delectable donuts.
You were one of the first donuts we ever made, and still one of the most popular.
One of the things that we learned kind of really early on, and I misjudged for sure, was just the fanaticism of donuts. People dropped to their knees when we brought them these pink boxes of goodies.
We started just a little donut shop in Portland, Oregon, and it immediately kind of grew into this whole idea of a brand and an excitement.
How did your relationship with Universal Studios begin?
You know, we were lucky enough to get a call from Hollywood, and man, it was the right time. It was the right time to spread the donut craziness that we have down in Hollywood, and it's been a great success. And we're excited to come to Orlando now. We're going to have donut shops on each coast at this point, which is really cool and exciting.
What will guests discover when they walk inside Voodoo Donut?
It's an explosion of just kind of craziness and wackiness. I mean, the sky's the limit.
It's going to be bigger and crazier and more intense than any Voodoo Donut we've ever had. And really excited to bring all these new flavors and stuff to Florida that we've been doing here in Portland, Oregon.
Including you, buddy.
I'm going there right after this.
You better get on your horse and get going.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for your journey. If you can make it there without getting eaten.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Oh, that's so
Kinda
cute.
Weird. But man, I love those guys. All right, see you at Universal Orlando Resort. Woohoo!
Universal Orlando Resort, and they're in Hollyweird. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that so cute and fun and exciting? That's so neat. Voodoo Donuts. Who wants to go get some? No one does voodoo like you do, right? Did y'all notice something in those videos? Did that seem a little odd to you? Why would this pastor, world-renowned evangelist, be standing in front of a sign with a little blue swirl mark on it like that? Hey, he might not know what that means. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. What's this? Let's take a look. There's all their donuts. Don't they look delectable? Oh, they got the bacon one. Oh, it's great. But take a look at their most famous donut. This guy right has got one right there and one right there. They said that's their most famous donut. Their most famous. You notice how it's kind of a guy laying back screaming with something impaling him in the heart right there? You see that right there? What the heck is that all about? But that's kind of freaky. But this symbol right here, do you know what this symbol is? This symbol right here. You'll see that symbol on the Pope. You'll see that symbol at somebody mentioned the pizza shop. You'll see that symbol there too. That's a pedophile symbol. Is what that is. What about this symbol right here? Anybody recognize that one? That's always good. Look, if you're into the occult and you like pentagrams, that's okay. But if you're the reverend and the evangelist that you claim to be, I'd probably run from that. I mean, symbolism will be their downfall. All I'm saying is, it is an epidemic, like the lady just said in that previous video. It is an epidemic. Oh, I know. Some of you are probably scoffing at me. Oh, that's stupid. Ha, ha, ha. That's not weird. Ha, ha, ha. That's not real. Ha, ha, ha. Dude, I'm telling you right now, listen, mark my words. It's coming. God is about to do something that's never been done before. 3 legs of the table we know about. The 4th leg is coming out. Before this is all said and done, before this is over, before God is finished cleaning up this mess, name brand preachers are going to be brought down around this world. People who claim to be one thing, but they are not. God is not going to continue putting up. It's better than a millstone be tied to your neck and cast into the sea. He's not going to continue with this. So Mac OS 11.3 update includes a massive security patch and a new emoji. Isn't that wonderful? 11.3. Huh. Interesting. Here's some info on that. That's there's some, you can look that over. Maybe you can figure that out. I don't know. It's interesting. 11.3. Where have I heard 11.3 before? I'll let you all figure that one out. Share in the comments what you think. Now, this is a little news story by OAN, and it kind of puts some stuff together. We're out of the heavy stuff. We're just going back to a little hopium and stuff like that. Okay, so I think we might need that after that last couple of stories. Moving right along.
Our national leaders, members of Congress, and even Joe Biden demanded a guilty verdict in a criminal trial this week, and they got it. What's the point of having a justice system if the jury is not the sole arbiter of the facts? Maxine Waters didn't sit through the trial. Joe Biden didn't examine the evidence and hear from the witnesses. What's the point of a so-called Justice Department that refuses to investigate Joe Biden's kickbacks from China, but arrests Trump supporters for peacefully protesting? Why are police departments disclosing the identity of officers in accidental shootings within hours? Yet the officer who intentionally shot Ashley Babbitt at the Capitol on January 6th still has not been identified. Cops who make mistakes must be crucified publicly, but cops who intentionally murder Trump supporters are concealed and not held accountable. The only reason the last 4 months make any sense is because we can all now see that Joe Biden is not a legitimate president. The so-called Biden administration is a group of radicals that nobody wanted in power, Kamala Harris, and they devised an evil scheme to steal our election and did so successfully, thanks in large part to greedy Republicans who refused to fight back. They wanted their title and didn't care about the state of our country. The Arizona election audit has begun, and the entire country knows it will unravel the Democrat schemes from 2020. That's why they are so scared. And that's also why they're making crazy radical power plays like trying to pack the Supreme Court in H.R. 1. They know we're onto them, and we will get rid of them. They must solidify their power by any means necessary because they know their days are numbered. No politician in their right mind would support packing the Supreme Court. On its face, it is a Marxist, radical, un-American approach to government. Joe Biden has even said so. There's no hiding it, and that's the reason they're doing it. There's no hiding anymore. They've been caught. They've been caught in bed with China, Russia, the Ukraine, and likely other countries as well. They are partnering with our adversaries against us. They want world control and domination. The United States Constitution and everything we stand for is in the way. Donald Trump is in the way. They may have successfully removed him from the White House, but they haven't taken his power. Who is the most powerful political figure in the United States today? Donald J. Trump. He will determine our next House and Senate. The American people can all see clearly that we do not have a legitimate executive branch in power right now. Even NBC says liberals are going too far. NBC reports that the steps being taken by radical Democrats will politicize the system even more to the detriment of the republic. They are going too far, too fast, and the public can see it. That's why they're going so far, so fast, because the public can see it. Their days are numbered, and their best bet at retaining their power is to solidify it, illegitimately against the will of the American people. Make no mistake, America, they know the gig is up. This is a last-ditch effort at trying to retain their power, knowing America and the rest of the world knows it's illegitimate. How illegitimate is it? Arizona will show us in the coming weeks. Maybe there's no fraud. Maybe all of this weirdness really was just a strange coincidence. Maybe Biden legitimately won Arizona. Maybe, but maybe not. We'll see. I'll be stationed here in Phoenix, Arizona, covering the audit and bringing you the latest updates. Thanks for joining me in this special edition of Weekly Briefing from Arizona. Thanks for watching.
So you got the report from OAN News. Whoops, it's coming back on there. It just lays it all out, what's going on, what the weirdness, things don't add up. You know, math is an important thing. A lot of people don't understand that, but it is. It does make a difference. And so when you're looking at the ballots, why are they so upset about the ballots? Why is MSNBC and Fox News and all them just on there just freaking out because the ballots, oh, they're counting in Arizona. Oh, what difference does it make? You won, right? Legit, right? You know, 80 million votes, more votes than any president, more votes than Barack Obama. You won, right? I mean, fair and square. They've checked it and double checked it and rechecked it. And the 10,000 judges have all said the Supreme Court has ruled. You won, right? Didn't you? I mean, fair and square. You know, if I won an election and it was fair and square and I didn't cheat and I knew that it was above boards and right, I'd be like, recount it again, recount it again and again and again and again. Recount it as many times as you want to recount it. Because I'm confident it's going to come out that I won. So why are you upset? I mean, you won, right? Didn't you? Or maybe you're trying to hide something. You know, the ones screaming, you take a look at an NFL play, you know, like, for example, a few years ago in the playoffs, when a wide receiver was taken out, it was New Orleans Saints wide receiver was taken out well before the ball got there. But the judge ruled incomplete pass. And they threw a fit. They said, we don't need to look at it. The judge ruled. The judge ruled. We don't need to look at it. But after it was all said and done, after the game was over, and after the results had happened, and the Super Bowl was over, and everything was done, the NFL went back and looked at that and said, oh, well, we kind of messed up on that one. We should probably change the rules to make sure that doesn't happen again. Huh. What an interesting concept. So we have this. Donald J. Trump, the results will be startling. Giuliani, the truth will prevail. Lindell, all this had to happen. Wood, Cabal's days are numbered. Scavino, one falls, they all fall. Q, nothing can stop what's coming. It had to be this way. And then there's me with a couple bags of popcorn. Enjoy the movie. If you do not fear death, this is Lin Wood. If you do not fear death, if you do not fear death, you fear no person or event. You are fearless. Be fearless, for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. Do you fear? Do you guys have fear? Are you afraid? Don't be afraid. There's one more here. You can either be brave. You can either be brave or a warrior. You can either, I'm mixing things up in my head. I'm reading what's not even there. You can either be a warrior or a victim. It's your choice to decide. But being a victim is easy. What are you going to be? You're going to be a warrior? You're going to take the arrows? You're going to stand up? You're going to scream and shout? You're going to show up at your city council meetings, at your school board meetings? I know there's a lot of them in my community that are doing that. They stand up all over the place. Non-political people that never got involved. They get involved. Are you going to stand up? Are you scream and shout? Are you going to post the stuff on Facebook? Are you going to call it out? Are you going to tell your friends, neighbors, and relatives when they say, oh, poo, 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 that's not how it happened. It's not true. I was watching MSNBC the other day, and Rachel Maddow told me it wasn't true. Keep repeating it. Keep pounding it. Take the slings. Take the arrows. Yes, you're going to lose your friends, but were they really friends? Yes, you're going to make some enemies. Yes, people aren't going to like you. But stand up. Do something. Even if it's wrong, do something. God can't steer apart the car, they used to say down south. But if you get moving in a certain direction and you ask God for guidance, then he can change. You know, if God changes your direction in your chair and you're just sitting here and all you're doing is looking in a different way, you ain't moving. But if you get up on your feet, you take a couple steps and you move forward, then God can say, that's the wrong way. I want you to go this way. And he can turn you. As long as you're moving forward, you'll go. Take that step. And when you're done taking that next step, take the next step after that. And when you're done taking that step, take the next step after that. Let's go. Let's wake up. It's time to go. It's time to go. No more sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. We, the American people, need to rise up. We need to rise up on social media. We need to rise up and call our local radio station, our local media stations, wherever you're at. And you say, you guys need to stop being silent about this. Because they're all told to shut up, and they did. We need to stand up to we need to call our congressmen, our senators, and say, no. Time you speak up. I don't care if they're Democrats. You need to let them know how you feel. They're going to ignore you, but it doesn't matter. Get louder. It's up to us. It's up to us. It's time to go. Time is now. We're running out of time. One more little video. I want you to hear. It's only about 30 seconds long. Then we'll end it. Listen to this.
You need to know is no matter how upset you are about the president's election, no matter what you're seeing in the news, and if you feel hopeless, here's what you need to know. It's not over. Oh, no.
It's not over. And we're the ones that need to fight. It's our turn. It's time to rise up. Nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. And we're the final key. So let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's get going right now. You guys have a great day. I'm going to jump off here and go to work. Remember, it's up to you. Talk to y'all later.